started producing the movies with Hal Hartley, Ang Lee, and Nicole Hollis-Center. And the first day I ever met an agent was the last time I wore a tie before my wedding. And after I had that meeting, I went to meet Nicole Hollis-Center, who had made a student film up at Columbia that I'd seen and liked. And she had just finished her first script, which was called Walking and Talking. And I spent many years trying to produce that movie. And around the third year of failure, she said to me, like, Ted, this is just not going to happen. You should work with a director who's going to make lots and lots of movies. There's this guy at Columbia Film School who just won the grand prize called Greg Mottola for a short film. And if you know the name of that short film...
Was it The Day Trippers?
No,
No.
short film.
No,
If you know the name of the short film, you get a CD and a t-shirt. That was called Swinging the Painter's Room. And I think it's on Day Trippers DVD. And it's a one-shot movie that's really pretty cool. And I saw it, like, that'd be great. I'd love to produce this guy, but he had a producer. I think that was 1991 or 1990, somewhere around then. And she was like, this guy's going to make a lot of movies. And around 95, he finally made Day Trippers when he gave up on trying to produce a movie for a lot of money. And he made Day Trippers for probably like $200,000, I think. Somewhere you can find that on the internet. He told me the story. And then it took him 8 years to make his next movie. And along the way, he stopped working with that producer. And we were given the script of Adventureland and worked on that script together for a couple of years. And when one day he got a phone call and called me up afterwards and said, Ted, I just got offered this movie without any movie stars in it. I think it's direct to DVD. It's for my friend I know from TV. It's a bunch of TV people. I think I should do it because I should do, it's like it'd be good practice for the real movie, Adventureland. And that direct-to-DVD movie with TV stars was super bad. So luckily he did make a good choice and do that one first. But I mean, the point of that, just to kind of like, if you miss that lesson,
yes,
it was 5 years after his student film before he made his first feature, and 8 years after his first feature, which was universally acclaimed, won festivals, and he got to make his second feature. So the question always is, as directors and producers, what are you going to do to not give up hope in yourself along the way when other people are taking notice? What are you going to do to find that way when the doors keep getting closed to get that first little film made? And how do you survive and still keep a good attitude? Because one of the reasons this film is getting promoted so heavily, frankly, which I think they're doing more for a film than I've ever had before, is because Greg is an incredibly nice guy who makes it clear to the studio and the marketing people and the producers and the DP and the actors that he really appreciates what they're doing and he hears what they're saying and what their recommendations are. We've gone back and forth on lots of things along the way, and even when Greg didn't agree and kind of put his foot down, the people on the other side always understood where he was coming from, which is a big part of it, because a lot of times people give out different reasons. My movies that weren't promoted, those directors, I see a ton of movies. Our house is decorated with DVDs in every nook and corner. We watch, new films by unknown directors on a regular basis, and generally, there are 3 that really are stand out. Where you say, this director is going to keep making good movies for a long time. Last year there were over 15 that I saw, and I know I missed some. So I think we're on a really exciting period. The challenge is those films we used to get a lot of notice. How many of you went to see Goodbye Solo this weekend? 1? There's a CD. Okay, so Goodbye Solo is by a really important New York filmmaker, Ramin Djawadi. Who's made 3 films right now every year for for about $1 million. The last one was, and the one before. but they play all the major film festivals, got an incredibly strong New York Times review. It said it was almost perfect. But the problem is, you have so many choices of what to do and so many other things, you're not going to run to see it in the way that, you know, when I first moved to New York, I had to see Stranger Than Paradise, or She's Gotta Have It, or Blood Simple. Like, those were the equivalent films, but now you're missing those, and then there are also, like, great movies, like the filmmaker in New York named Antonio Campos, 26 years old, made a movie called After School. Absolutely riveting, super strong director, played New York Film Festival, but hasn't got distribution. His short film went to Cannes when he was 23. You know, he's got a great little team of filmmakers who are kind of working with him. He'll produce their films as they produce his, but we don't get to see them yet. And that's really where the crisis is, not in the quality of the film, but the access we all have to see them. And maybe the internet is the answer to it, but I like to see them on a much bigger screen, and I like to be able to talk about them afterwards. I don't want to just sit in my, you know, cubby hole, you know. You know, a unique voice. I like people that kind of make movies where they're not just kind of proving what they know, but you can kind of feel in the midst that they're taking some risks and hoping to learn something along the way. That's kind of an aesthetic that I like. We refer to it as the difference of a challenge versus a proof type film, if that makes any sense. Often somebody that's not trying to, you know, somebody that's reaching but not reaching too far, that there's still all the apparatus that exists in the film business, and you have to connect the dots for people. You can't go too far, like from your A point, say, oh, I want to go to E right away. You have to kind of show them why you're capable of whatever this next step is. It's interesting, like particularly like Ang Lee. Ang was always really cognizant of what he wanted to do next. Not specifically, but in a kind of general way. So he would try to weave into whatever project he was doing some sort of new challenge that would become the bigger focus on the next film. Like he knew when we were doing Ride with the Devil that he wanted to explore like an action, he wanted to do a much bigger canvas. So he wanted to get real bits of action into the film. They were points of interest. And I think you can look at all of his films and see how they're building blocks. He's connecting the dots, you know, for the people so you can see why he's well suited for the next film. I guess he's finally earned the right to stop doing that. Made it clear what an Ang Lee film is. But those sorts of things, then it's because it's such a hard marketplace and such a hard industry, I look for things that are distinct, you know, that aren't just a regurgitation of what has been done before, but somehow, you know, fresh. You know, it's a tough thing trying to find that match. You know, oftentimes I want to know who the person is. I don't want a tough experience with somebody who's cranky all the time and, you know, not recognizing what everyone contributes. And so often I offer help from just a, you know, friend of the court perspective, so I can have a nice little bit of distance where I can see how somebody behaves, and see if I really want, you know, you say you want to do someone's movie, it's usually 3 to 5 years, and once you make that commitment, it's hard to get away from them. So I want to make sure that they're going to be pleasant to hang out with.